Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a good one. There's been a lot of news. If you guys know me, you know that, I tend to look at a lot of news and I try to determine, what's good news for right now, like what that mix is, what's important, what could affect your bag and everything else. So there are a few items that I'm looking at right now. People are just swarming Chinese stocks. Excuse me. Well, how is that affecting Bitcoin? Not much, but it's affecting USDT. USDT is trading below a dollar right now by about 8 thousandths. That doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about how much money traverses, you know, using Tether's on sale. Kind of what that means. So yeah, I'd be paying attention to that. Right now, it's trading at 0.9992 or three. I saw it earlier at one. So yeah, they've got to get that back. It's been slowly edging back up. So we'll see what happens. Yes, this happens every now and then. Telegram's blockchain hit 100 million users. Now, is that a lot? Yeah, it's freaking a lot. Compared to others, not a lot. But that's a major milestone, especially when you consider Ton blockchain has not been doing all that well, or as well as it could have. We'll look at that, when we look at the numbers in a little bit. But that's actually a huge milestone. That's a huge milestone to hit. And if you look at how many scammers are leaving the chain, that says that that's a lot of regular people. That is what I found to be important. That's the one that made me go, oh, that's why I keep saying Ton blockchain, keep an eye on it, pay attention to it. Ton, another one that's coming up is Sui. Pay attention to Sui. Sui's got a lot of deals going on. Sui's making things happen. It's really really making things happen, just like Toncoin. So the big boys out there, big girls out there, don't sleep on Ton, don't sleep on Sui. 21 Shares is asking the EU to step up their game when it comes to regulatory frameworks. They're kind of like, you don't really have one. And it's annoying. And I'm sitting back and I'm just like, wow, that's kind of a big deal that you're literally saying, yeah, you don't really have one in it. And what you do have right now in place kind of sucks. And it does. Now, when you look at Hong Kong, when you look at other areas, they do have a pretty decent framework. Again, I'm not necessarily looking for a robust framework. Actually, I kind of am looking for a robust framework because you've had years to contemplate what you're supposed to do. So yeah, I'm expecting more. I am expecting more. I'm expecting you to make it easier for businesses to do business, in the crypto industry. I'm expecting you to make it easier and safer for retail investors to do business in the crypto industry. I'm expecting you to put guardrails up for institutional investors so that they can actually make sure that they're operating properly within this burgeoning industry. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. I don't understand what the problem is, but apparently there's a problem. People aren't getting it. If you want business to thrive in this industry, then you've got to start thinking in innovative ways. And I think countries around the world are just missing that. The same thing when it comes to AI. They're going to have to start thinking in innovative ways, new ways, stop grasping onto the old. I mean, there's a report out now with regard to AI. You've got 80% of the AI, of the engineers out there, software engineers out there, that are probably going to have to upskill or lose their jobs. Those are facts. Those are facts. So I'm just sitting back and I'm just saying, at some point, we've got to actually realize that things change. And on a personal level, we need to step up our game. On a corporate level, we need to step up our game. On a state or country level, we need to step up our game. It should not be that difficult to actually think about that. I mean, look at the United States, $35 trillion in debt. Mind you, we have the highest debt, but other countries are in the trillions as well. It's a problem. And the world's going to have to figure this out before bad things happen. And maybe we need to start helping the world figure it out by voting in the right people. So do your own research and vote for who you think is going to be the right person to figure out debt. And not figure out, how do I spend more? How do I put more in my own bank account? All that good stuff. Bad stuff. Right? But this is a global problem. So we also need somebody that can play on the global stage. And that goes for every country out there. Not just the United States. I mean, yes, we have elections coming up. But I mean, every country out there. We need people that understand what it means to actually play on the global stage. Debt is a rising problem. It's a crazy rising problem. So it's kind of like, well, how much of that debt is actually, capital versus interest is what I'm interested in. Is it the 35 trillion for the United States alone? And like I said, there are countries that, the major countries around the world, a lot of them are carrying trillions of dollars in debt. Trillions. So when I turn around and I look at crypto, I kind of sit there and kind of go, guys, there's an answer. There's an answer. And it can work out. I mean, look at MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is up 53% in 1 week. 4 times as high as Bitcoin. What, in the past year? Up 1,200%, something like that? Greater than Bitcoin. I heard somebody say that's the greatest leverage play I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, not the greatest, but you know what I mean? Like that's huge. In terms of the stock market versus crypto, that's no joke. So I'm just sitting back and I'm just saying, at some point we've got to figure this out. And hopefully we will. But MicroStrategy strategy, yeah, that's actually proper English. It's pretty sound. You have other companies doing the same thing. Metaplanet, Semler Scientific. You have a lot of companies following that same tack. And you sit there and you just go, yeah, let me go invest in that company. Metaplanet shot up. Semler Scientific shot up. And MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, he's just laughing. Everybody was laughing at him when he wanted to take a loan out to buy Bitcoin. I don't hear any kiki and ha-ha right now. I'm just saying. I just don't. Then you have Cardi B. She introduces WAP. Obviously a meme coin. And I'm sitting back and I'm just saying to myself, is that a rug pull? Because apparently, she's got an X account that was promoting it. And it popped up with all kinds of be careful signs. I have very low expectations. Very low expectations. Very, very low expectations. So I'm just sitting back and saying to myself, wow, what's actually important today? Coinbase finally implemented Taproot. It enables privacy and cost-saving Bitcoin features aligning with other major exchanges like Binance and Kraken. Meaning you can actually send and receive from those places a lot easier. You can send the Taproot accounts. Interesting. The reason why I find it to be interesting is because I look at some of the exchanges. I was talking about this last night. You have several exchanges being chased after by the SEC. The SEC, the government seems to be going after crypto exchanges harder than they're going after banks. You ever think about that? Just saying, from a management perspective, I'm finding it difficult for us to actually believe how hard the SEC is going after crypto. Meanwhile, banks, we did this, in March or something like that? March, April, something like that. I had that article come out about TD Bank allowing cash deposits far beyond the allowable amount that should have triggered red flags, and it didn't. They're still in business. I don't see anything happening. I don't hear anything happening. They're not. It's not in the news. Other banks having data problems, data management problems. I don't see them going, getting slapped on. I mean, literally just slapped on the wrist. I don't see them going to jail or anything like that. I don't see them people trying to take them out of business. Um, Comcast had its second breach in less than a year. If you wouldn't talk about regular companies, nothing. Why is that important? It's important because it involved your social security number. Because back in the day, all businesses, all companies were doing business with you as a person based on your social security number. And now, when these companies get breached, all of your information is sitting right there. So any scammer can snatch that information and use it to paint a bright and vivid picture of who you are. Use it to scam you. Or use it to scam your bank out of your money. That just happened to somebody. They paid some money, and they just a whole big thing. And the bank's like, yeah, no, we're not gonna, because you should have known that was fake. Banks can't keep reimbursing everybody. They cannot keep reimbursing everybody. However, banks should get better at protecting your data and protecting you against scams. Hence, going back to data management. So when I look at that, I just kind of go data management, security, authentication, all that kind of stuff, and blockchain. What? Exactly. So I just sit back and I just go, so when are you going to catch up? When is that going to happen? When is it going to be okay for companies to start realizing that, new technology is good? Back in the day, a lot of companies were buying other companies just to take them out. Just to take them out, especially in the banking industry. They'd look at this other company and be like, oh, they got great tech. They got really good people. Let's buy them and fire everybody and not use their technology. Yeah, that happens all the time. All the time. Like when you look at some of these pop-up banks. I call them pop-up banks because they were on their own, popped up, were on their own, doing banking, all that good stuff. Got offered the right number and they sold out to a bigger bank. You think that technology is going to be sitting around being used? It's not funny. People are making decisions based on how much money they think they can make over the long period of time. However, over a short period of time. However, over the long period of time, they lose money because the decision that they make has the shorter path instead of the longer path. Meaning make money for a longer period of time because you'd be able to sustain your business as time marches forward. So yeah, when I look at how things work or are working right now, there you go. There you go. This is why I do all this research, so I can remain educated in what's going on, what can affect my bag. News. Gotta read it. Because if you don't do your own research, you will not come across that small, tiny little article that says VeChain got a patent for some of their technology. Oh, did you miss that? Yeah. That's your homework assignment. Tune in tonight and tell me specifically what happened with VeChain and that patent. You got to start doing your own research. You'll miss tiny little pearls like that. Do I catch every pearl that's out there? No. But that's why we're building Grow My Bag. We're building this community. Why? Because I might miss it, but somebody else might get it. Joaquin, Hutanik, Pananimous Me, Paula, we have a whole community. Our community hit over 8,100. Actually, it's at 8,175 this morning. We're growing. People want to learn and they want to help others learn. Why? Because we all want to grow our respective bags. That's what it comes down to. A community of like-minded people that aren't running around acting like they know everything, because I sure as hell don't know everything. So when I listen to some of these talking heads out here and they act like they know everything, I just sit back and I look at them and I go, but you don't. I like the ones that kind of say, yeah, I don't know a lot about this, so I kind of dug in and kind of did some research. What do you guys think? Did I miss a point? Did I miss something? I like those people. Because nobody's perfect. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. And again, I didn't put my watermark. This is so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. That's so horrible. All right, let me get my notes out of the way. So we're going to start with the GMB Crypto Tracker top 25 losers. This is funny. Because that loser list, right there. Because you know my rule. 5%, I'm not going to worry about it. But up to then, Celestia's down 6%. GMB X factor of 3.17x. Yes, I think it'll happen. Sui, you don't even have to bother to look at the GMB X factor. They're a hair away from a new all-time high. Is that going to happen by the end of the year? You think? Right? It's up 6. It's down negative 6%. It's down 6%. Psy is down 6% with a GMB X factor of 1.7x. Do I think you can do it? Yeah. Hamster Combat took a nosedive, 7%. It's rude. 0.68x. But Hamster Combat, I was talking about this last night. Hamster Combat has this really cool thing where they're going to say, well, listen, if you got an airdrop, about 100 million people, I think they were saying, got in on this airdrop. So if you got in on the airdrop, well, no, it was 130 million people. So 130 million people, you're in on this airdrop. How about you stake your airdrop and we'll give you rewards? For staking, we'll give you rewards. So you're already getting this kind of stuff for staking, but then we're also going to give you rewards on top of that. So I think that's going to turn around. And everything else, I'm not paying attention to. These guys, I don't pay attention to those. Top 25 winners. Now, let's get interesting with this one. Eigenlayer up 9%. GMB X factor. Look at that. Look at that. 0.12x. Yeah, they're gonna do well. Turbo up 8%. GMB X factor of 33.33x. Chili's is up 7%. I used to own some Chili's. Dumped it. It's got an 11.66x GMB X factor. Now you know why I dumped it. I just don't see it. I have no belief in them. Aerodrome Finance up 6%. GMB X factor of 0.87x. Do I think you could do it? Probably. Let's see. It just updated. Is there anything else that's up there? No. That means everybody's just moving sideways right now. Everybody's just kind of right there. Most of the coins right now in the top 250 are bouncing between 5% and negative 5%. That's their band. That's it. So seriously, when you stop and you think about everything that's going on, that's something to pay attention to. Right now, the top 250 coins out there are traversing between 5% and negative 5%. That's it. An 11-point swing is what we're talking about. Excuse me, you'd have to catch somebody at 5% and then watch them go up, right? Bounce between that space. So if you're a trader and you're looking for that kind of information, well, that's where I'd start looking. And you've got some really good coins in that space. Where you might be able to play the ups and downs. Maybe. Do your work. Do your homework. Do your research. That's all I'm saying. You don't believe me? Look at this. Top 250 coins, and this is what we're talking about. The bulk of those top 250 coins are bouncing between negative 5% and 5%. You can see it right there. This is what I'm talking about. 24-hour change. At some point, we'll wake up and realize that. This is your 24-hour change. Who's this at 10% up? Eigenlayer. Okay. But like I said, most coins are operating between a negative 5% and 5%. Those coins are the standouts. So yeah, you can come back over here and you can see Eigenlayer at 10%. But that's it. You see what I'm saying? These are the coins that are playing around above that. Go to the loser side. Loser side. Here are the coins that are playing around below that. That's it. The bulk of the top 250 coins are operating within an 11-point space. And if you're paying attention, you can trade that space and you can make some money. If you're not paying attention, you can trade that space and lose a lot of money. Check out the ups and downs. I keep telling everybody, pay attention to the rhythms of some of these coins. They really do start to develop a rhythm. They really, really do. Let's start back here. Who do we have earnings for this week? Yeah, not many. No names that I know. No names that I know. Right? That's actually a pretty funny name, is it not? That's a really funny name. And you know somebody did that on purpose. Like, seriously. So we have some Fed speak. Today's Wednesday. So here's Fed speak. Everybody's waiting for the minutes, for the last FOMC meeting. That's why the market's kind of like, moving right now. Pay attention to this. Fear and greed index at 49, right? And I think it'll go up. I'm not worried about it. But we're down to almost $1.3 billion, $88.76 billion in total value locked. When you're looking at Bitcoin, yeah, we're below our 200-day moving average. So that yellow is the 20-day moving average, and the orange is the 200-day moving average, and we're operating below right now. But in line. Interesting. Just saying. Pay attention to these things, folks. There's a lot to see, a lot to learn. And then we take a look at the big board. And I look at this and I just go, wow, there's so much stuff on sale. Oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I get? SUI, BCH, BNB, ETH, BTC, of course, XRP, maybe. Ton, yes. None of the wraps. I'm not dealing with any of the wraps. SHIB at 18%. Are you paying attention to SHIB? It establishes higher highs and higher lows, and that's what it did. So I'm paying attention to that. Pepe's not so bad. Doge, if you're still into it, don't know why, but I guess if you want to. Aptos starting to make some noise, starting to do some stuff. Tron is up. Why is Tron up? Thai dollar. That whole thing that happened with Thai dollar and Sundog. LTC, yeah, I could see why. Casper, I could see why. Near, I could definitely see why it's on sale right now. Polkadot, still have no driving force behind me to go after Polkadot. Cardano's down below that 35 cents. Might want to scoop some of that up. I don't know. And then here's Tether. Remember I was telling you about Tether? So here's Tether, and you are operating below that dollar. Normally it's up here. Takes a little dips over there, but look at it right now. In the 1 day, that's where you are. The exact opposite of the other chart. Right? You look at the 7 day and you see how much it's above that $1. You look at the 1 day and you're kind of like, dang. What is it for all? Yeah, tiny little bips and bumps right there. Just look at 1 year. Yeah, so you've had periods before where it's operated below $1. So when people say, oh, you should be worried, look at where it was right here, and Tether went around just fine. It's only right there. 0.999. Wah. Seriously, wah. Right? So these are the things that I'm paying attention to right now. That really is it. If you want to look across the board, see who's really making some noise. All right, you got to pay attention to BNB chain. Why? All green, straight across. Year to date, 86.64. Outperforming Bitcoin, Ethereum, not doing so hot with Ethereum. I think Ethereum's on sale. I honestly think Ethereum's on sale, in my humble opinion. But you look across and you go, how many coins are actually doing well? Toncoin, 124.87, year to date. Solana, 40% year to date, right? Not bad numbers. 69% year to date for Shiba Inu. I keep telling you, Shiba Inu is doing things and nobody's paying attention. Chainlink is back down to $10, in the $10 range. Would I be scooping that up? Yes, absolutely. Bitcoin Cash, yes. Somebody asked me about BSV. Let me see. Control F. There you go. Here's BSV. I would not be paying attention to this, like, at all. Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. Volume's good. Got a halfway decent market cap, but it's under $1 billion. Right? You go from 500 million to a billion, and then you have a billion to 2 billion and 2 billion plus, and they're under $1 billion. Excuse me. I have no interest in them. None. Why? What can they do that Sui can't? Like, pick a coin that's recently bypassed them. What can they do that that coin can't? So I have no interest there. But I mean, they're in danger of being bunny hopped by Brett. Just saying. Flow. Oh my good lord. They could be bunny hopped by Flow. And then you have Wormhole, which does do well from time to time. That could do something. Even Notcoin is not that far away. Sorry, didn't mean that. But yeah. So BSV, yeah, I have no interest in it. I have no interest in it. Like, I just don't see what makes that a viable play. It's not, to me. It's not doing anything. Again, it's not. They're not doing anything that I can't do with another coin in a better position. Like, I don't even see how they're gonna, how I can get to the plus side without Bitcoin going up. Like, it's tied to Bitcoin, so I don't see how it's gonna make me, not necessarily exponential money, but multiples. I don't see it, so that's a problem. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to become a member. Membership comes with benefits. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you for your time.